So I have arranged my primary colors in a triangle. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a wheel. It's not the perfect circle, but it is a wheel. It's just a bumpy wheel. All right? So your first family is primary. Your second family is secondary. Secondary colors are created when you mix two primary colors. So the way you do this is you might take a little bit of your yellow, move it over here, and then a tiny bit of blue. What I've noticed in all my time painting is blue tends to be super duper strong and yellow tends to be really weak. So you would think that you would mix equal parts of yellow and blue to get green, but really it's more like a whole lot of yellow and a little bit of blue. This palette knife is nice because it lets me smear things around and then gather them back up. Alright, here's my green. Cool. I'm going to do that for you again, and I'm going to make another secondary color. It's called orange. So I'm going to take some of my yellow again, and I'm going to move it over here. Notice I'm always moving the color just to right beside it. I'm never passing a color to find room on my color wheel or crossing the color wheel. Always right beside. This way our colors are in a specific order. Color wheels have a right and wrong order. I'll show you a little trick in a second. So I mix yellow and red, and I've got my orange. I think it's still a little too red though, so I'm gonna wipe my knife off and grab some more yellow to mix in there. There we go. That's a little more orange. Hooray, orange. All right. Our last secondary color is purple. So I'm going to take my red, move it to the side, and I'm going to take a little bit of blue and mix it in. Purples are interesting. They're just really bizarre. They tend to be really, really dark. I think you guys, depending on the types of reds and blues, right? But a lot of times people will add white to their purple so you can see the purple better. So it probably looks like black to you on there until I start smearing it around, and then you can see how purple it really is. Alright, so there's my color wheel. Ta-da! Not too shabby. Notice it is, if we start with red, it goes in the order of the rainbow. Roy G. Biv. R-O-Y-G-B-V. We'll talk about indigo in video number 2. It's a weird one. Rainbow order. You could also, it's definitely possible to have your color wheel going this way too. It's a wheel. It can go either way. So if tomorrow your wheel, this one's going clockwise. If your wheel ends up going counterclockwise, it's not a problem so long as you run into the correct colors in the correct order. Roy G. Biv, R-O-Y-G-B-V, rainbow order. All right? Now, so as our primary and secondary, to our color wheel isn't just a circle of colors. It's actually a tool that artists use to remember the relationships between colors. So just like you might use a family tree to remember who that person that you see in the summer every 5 years is, and it turns out they're like your 5th cousin, you can use the color wheel to remember how the colors are related to each other. In the case of primary and secondary, we can draw 2 triangles. Triangle number 1 is our primary triangle, and triangle number 2 is our secondary triangle. You'll see that the pattern creates a Star of David. Pretty cool. So if you forget how to make green, all you have to do is remember to put your primary colors in a triangle and then move a little bit of each color to either side of itself and mix them until you find the green. There are 2 more color families I wanted to talk to you about today. They are also reviews. They are warm and cool. So if I erase my Star of David, there we go. No more Star of David. And I split my color wheel in half, we will get warm and cool colors. So think to yourself, which colors most closely resemble fire? Those ones are your warm ones. I know that the hottest part of fire is blue. That's because at its very core, fire is cool, right? But when we think about ice or rain or cooling off on a summer day, we're going to think of blue, green, and purple. So if we separate our yellow from our green and our red from our purple, we have 2 halves of the color wheel. And on one half is our warm colors, on the second half is our cool colors. The end. Tomorrow, you guys